When people think of millionaires, they imagine luxury cars, private jets, and penthouses with skyline views. But what if I told you that one millionaire spent months sleeping behind a gas station before his app changed everything? This is the story of Eli Thompson, a 17-year-old kid who went from being homeless to building a startup worth over $3.2 million, all while hiding his identity from the world. Eli grew up in Fresno, California, in a small, rundown trailer park. His mom worked nights at a diner, and his dad had disappeared years ago. Eli was one of those quiet, awkward kids, always with his headphones on, sketching ideas in a notebook that nobody cared about. He was obsessed with apps and coding, teaching himself from old YouTube tutorials and free coding websites at the public library. He didn't have a laptop, so he used the school computers, until one day, he didn't have a school anymore. When his mom got sick and couldn't work, bills started piling up. They lost the trailer, and just like that, Eli was living out of a 1998 Honda Civic parked behind a gas station. Most people would give up, but Eli had one thing going for him: an idea. While charging his phone at a cafe one night, he overheard a conversation between two guys complaining about freelancers never finishing their work. That's when it hit him. What if there was an app that matched clients with verified, short-term freelancers? People who could do small, urgent tasks fast, like micro gigs, but with guaranteed delivery. He called it TaskPop, a simple, catchy name, something anyone could remember. He had no money, no team, no laptop, but he had determination. So Eli went to the library every single day for 6 hours straight, coding on those old public computers until the staff kicked him out at closing. At night, Eli would sit in his car, freezing in the winter, reading about startups, growth hacking, and marketing. He watched every interview with Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, and even Steve Jobs' old speeches. He'd say to himself, "If they can do it, so can I. Maybe I just need one break." That break came one night when he saw a post on Reddit, a Startups Wanted thread, where small investors looked for early projects. He hesitated, but eventually uploaded a short demo video he'd coded of his unfinished app. He didn't expect anything, but the next morning, his inbox exploded. Dozens of people wanted to invest. One DM stood out, a guy named Alex Morgan, a 28-year-old entrepreneur from Austin, Texas. Alex wrote, "I don't know who you are, but your idea has potential. Let's talk." Eli was terrified. He didn't even have a Zoom setup, just an old cracked iPhone. He sat behind the gas station, connected to Wi-Fi, and joined the call. Alex was impressed but skeptical. He asked, "Where's your team? Who's coding this?" Eli hesitated for a second, then said quietly, "It's just me." Alex laughed, not mockingly but in disbelief. He said, "You? You built this alone?" "Yeah," Eli said, "from my car." That silence after, it was powerful. Alex said, "All right, kid, you've got guts. Let's make this real." He wired Eli $5,000 as an initial seed fund, on one condition: Eli had to keep building and send progress updates weekly. With that $5,000, Eli bought a used MacBook, some food, and a cheap gym membership, just so he could shower. He started living in 24-hour cafes, coding nonstop, sometimes 18 hours a day. He built new features, task bidding, instant payments, and a star rating system. He launched TaskPop officially 6 months later on the App Store. At first, nothing happened. No downloads, no users, no traction. But then one night, a TikTok creator with 1.2 million followers stumbled upon the app. She posted a 15-second clip. "This new app lets you make money doing random tasks for people near you. I just made $30 in 20 minutes. It went viral overnight. By morning, 50,000 new users had signed up. Eli sat in his car, crying. In just 2 months, TaskPop exploded. Freelancers, college students, even stay-at-home parents started using it to make extra income. Alex and Eli incorporated the company, and investors came calling. Real venture capital firms this time. But here's the twist. Eli still didn't tell anyone he was homeless. He didn't want pity. He wanted respect. He joined video meetings from his car, with a fake Zoom background to hide where he was. He called into business meetings at Starbucks, pretending the noise was from an open office. Everyone thought he was just some quiet genius from California. Nobody knew the truth. One afternoon, Eli got an email from a major tech company. You've definitely heard of it. Offering to buy TaskPop for $3.2 million, he froze. $3.2 million is more money than he could ever imagine. But there was one catch. They wanted to keep him on as an employee for 2 years. Not as the owner. He didn't know what to do. He went to the diner where his mom used to work and sat there for hours thinking. Finally, he opened his laptop and wrote a single sentence. "Thank you for the offer, but I'm just getting started." He rejected the deal. Eventually, TaskPop grew too big to hide. He was invited to speak at a small startup conference in Los Angeles. That's when he told his story publicly for the first time, about the night sleeping in his car, about coding at the library, about the strangers who helped him. When he finished, the entire audience stood up and clapped. Even Alex, who was sitting in the front row, had tears in his eyes. Within a week, the story went viral. Major media outlets covered it. The homeless teen who built $1 million startup. TaskPop's user base tripled in a month. Eli finally rented an apartment. He bought his mom a small house back in Fresno, but he didn't change much. He still wore old sneakers, still coded late at night, still took calls from random users who needed help with the app. When asked by a reporter what his secret was, he said, "People think success comes from money or luck, but it's really just showing up every day when no one believes in you." Today, TaskPop is valued at over 10 million with users in 17 countries. Eli still runs it quietly, avoiding fame. He once wrote in a Reddit AMA, "If you're in a dark place, remember, sometimes the biggest ideas come when you've lost everything else." So, next time you see someone sleeping in their car or using the library Wi-Fi all day, maybe, just maybe, they're not wasting time. Maybe they're building something that could change their life, or even the world. Because sometimes the poorest kid on the block is just one idea away from becoming a millionaire.